Right, members, good evening, welcome to this Asset Management Committee meeting and welcome to those who are watching online. Item 1, apologies.
We have apologies from Councillors Hudson, Driver and Hetherington who have personal commitments.
And Crittenden and Huxley are both away. Councillor Driver. Did you say Councillor Driver? Thank you. Any declarations of interest, members, in items on the agenda? No? Okay, thank you. Item 3, minutes. To approve the minutes of the meeting of the Asset Management Committee held on the 10th of June 2025. As a true record, only questions of record may be considered. Members, any questions? No? So therefore I propose acceptance. The seconder, please. All in favour, please show. Thank you, that's carried. Oh, you all right for putting it down? Okay. Item 4, allotments. This is to receive a written report from Miss M. Nash, allotment officer, and consider the following matters. 1, allotments waiting list update. 2, WhatsApp or even a WhatsApp guidance review, and 3, dedicated allotment councillor suggestion from allotment sites, and the others are rules of trail cameras, rules around cultivation, rules around incinerator fires and allotments, updating of appeals procedure, and National Allotments Society Training update. I'll turn you over to Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. Item 1, allotment waiting lists. There are currently 212 applicants on the waiting list at the 13th of August, with Celia Road and Chiltern Lane East being the most oversubscribed. The recommendation is to note this update and close the waiting list, with a review every February by the Asset Management Committee or every 6 months. We haven't in the past closed the waiting list, but this is a recommendation that came up at a recent an allotment appeal hearing. And also we're aware that it is common practice with other councils. Broadstairs has recently closed their waiting list. There is also benefit to not collecting private information from people to hold on record when not required, not creating long lists for the sake of it.
Councillor Green?
I'd like to put a counter view of not closing the voting list, because that's the only way we know what the demand is. And we should be responding to the fact that there is such a demand.
Is there a way of just keeping this, if the list remains open, is there a way of obviously keeping their addresses, etc., the people who are waiting to go on the list without it being part of the process of having a formal list? If you see what we've got, a formal list, but if we're at such a number where these are going to be 3 years down the line, 3 or 4 years down the line, so that's what concerns me with that. Councillor Nixie.
Harping back to something I feel quite bitter about in this council, but anyway, so when there was a proposal to buy land for allotments, at the time there was a huge waiting list, and we were told that that waiting list actually had duplicate names on it, and the number of people waiting, and I remember this number distinctly, was 79. If we've gone from 79 up to 212 in a matter of years, I would suggest that there was a call for new allotments to be considered. However, that's just me being bitter. So can I ask, is that 212 bona fide 212 people, or is it duplicate names?
Each applicant can select up to 3 different allotment sites.
Right.
The waiting list currently hosts a total of 12 applicants. So it looks like there's...
Why these numbers don't add up to 12.
Yeah. because some people put themselves forward for multiple sites.
Right.
But actually the total number of people is 212. And this has come down actually quite a bit from half a year ago, because the allotment officer did go through double checking whether people were still in the area, whether they still wanted. So I'd say that is a good, realistic current number.
I just think that if you're on a waiting list and the waiting list is closed and therefore you don't get on that list, you don't have any way to like go up the ranking, if you know what I mean. We're not allowing anybody to go up the ranking, whether that makes sense or not. I mean, I don't see the advantage, to be quite honest with you, of closing the list. I'm not, other than like you said about data protection, I don't really see why we would. It's just a list, isn't it? If either, and it's a good way of recording, as Councillor Green says, like, right, well, this shows that we need allotment spaces never much sought after. If I thought it was financially beneficial or anything like that, I might agree with it, but I'm not keen on it, to be honest with you.
Anybody else, members?
So, I mean, looking at the full pitches and the half pitches, if you could, I mean, if you eventually wound round so that everybody got a quarter pitch, you'd solve your waiting list problem. But, you know, I don't know enough about what size of pitch people need.
If I'll interject here, Councillor Ring has been involved in allotments quite a lot lately. And for, you know, I think it becomes an age thing.
Yeah.
I mean, some people have had allotments for a long time. When you're young, you're fit, healthy, and you can do a whole plot. And when you get older, and what we do anyway, is if people have got an issue, health issue or something, we can say, well, would you accept cutting that down that, and then so someone else has got another half. And that quite often happens. So you're right, but at the end of the day, a quarter of a pitch for some people, it's just not worth it. You know, so. Councillor Makinson?
Sorry, it's probably. How often do they come available? I mean, it's a question.
Without being able to give specific numbers, but I think it tends to be around the time when the rent is due that people consider, do they want to return, do they not? There used to be, there's usually a flurry of activity of allotments being passed along.
Yeah, and also it depends on, you know, depends on age, and people get ill or sick and they can't do it and whatever. So, but it is a slow process. It's not. It doesn't change overnight or anything like that. So, if there's no more comment, I think you basically, is that a proposal that we keep the list open and keep it?
Yes, I propose that.
Seconded. Members, all in favour of that, please show. Okay, that's carried, thank you.
The next item is the WhatsApp guidance review. And the WhatsApp guidance was adopted in a previous meeting following discussions with site representatives and 2 members of the Margate Road site representatives group. The suggestion evolved to this document to be extended to govern use of all social media on allotment sites. And attached to the report is a draft social media guidance, which builds upon the existing guidance to include all social media. I was concerned about the overreach in how people are communicating on social media with their private devices, but this seems to be more and more common. For example, at my daughter's primary school, we've just received a policy from the school on how the parents communicate with each other on our private devices on social media.
Gosh.
So this is a recommendation from the site representatives.
Members, any comments on this? By our life, I'm in about umpteen WhatsApp groups, different things, private and whatever. I mean, not really. can't see a problem with it. Because it's their WhatsApp group, although
We're not administrative, are we?
no.
And all this is doing is taking an existing policy and extending it to a form of social media, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
So if that's what they want, and the.
all agree with that, members? Okay, take that forward. Thank you.
Item 3 is also a request from the site reps that they'd like to have a dedicated allotments councillor and would like to feel more connected to the councillors. They've suggested one person. I'm sure they would be happy with multiple people if you wished.
Members, I would say, having been involved in a lot of this lately, the answer to that would be no. I don't think it's right. I don't think they're there to get on with the allotment. They've got their site representatives. That's who are there representing the allotment holders. So Maggie is the officer who deals with them. So my view is that is how it should stay. Councillor Austin.
I feel it undermines the officer actually if the councillor gets involved, or there's potential for all sorts of
Absolutely.
tensions that don't need to happen.
Absolutely.
I think they've all got a ward councillor too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the members have a no on that. We agreed on a no on that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Item 4, a proposed additional rule is there's an increasing use of trail cameras on site to protect tenants' livestock, crops and possessions due to ongoing incidents of theft. Some have expressed concerns that there is potential invasion of privacy, and the suggestion is the rule: if using a trail camera or similar to protect your allotment and its contents, the view of the camera must be limited to your plot alone. Non-compliance will be deemed an invasion of privacy and therefore a nuisance and antisocial. This may result in a notice of an immediate termination.
What's a trail camera?
So it flashes when there's movement.
Yeah.
Takes a photo when it detects movement.
Yeah. So anyone walking by, effectively. Yeah.
If my understanding, so correct me if I'm wrong, that things to do with CCTV on people's houses and so on and so forth, that type of thing, has to be restricted to your own personal property.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we'd just be following national guidelines of what it's meant to be doing. So yes, we should be adopting that policy, because otherwise we're going against something that's advocated by the police. Surely, again, correct me if I'm wrong here, but.
No, I think it's provided if they want one and want to stick it on a pole and it looks at their allotment, then it's got to be down on the ground. So they'll probably get a lot of rabbits. Yeah, probably get a lot of rabbits.
We can ask site reps to check.
To check, yeah, they'll. I mean,
I think it would be if someone's concerned about Mr. Smith's camera's pointing at my plot. We would ask Mr. Smith, can you show us a photo of the field of view from your camera?
We will ask.
RTC.
Yeah.
if we get a complaint, if we get a complaint in from another,
Site rep will ask.
And the site rep
and it'll go through Maggie. It'll go through Maggie.
Sorry, Chair, but this all comes under GDPR legislation. I mean, I've got a door window and I've switched it off because my door is right on the pavement, it's picking up everybody. So I decided that I also have to have a little notice that says recording in process. So if you have a trail camera, you have to have that notice to say recording in process, because you cannot just record people. If you look at the legislation for GDPR, it's about who you're recording and what you're doing with those images that are the two key important points. The good thing for us is that the data controller is the person who puts the trail camera out there. It used to be that we could be in trouble for allowing people to do that, but it's a bit of a minefield putting trail cameras on what is effectively a public space. I mean, if it was in my if it was my garden,
A lot of this is not a public space.
but it's still so the boundaries of my garden. I still think that we need to take advice on the GDPR, and that I wouldn't, I've switched my door window off because it's just picking everybody up, and it shouldn't do that.
Okay.
So may I say, this is designed exactly for that your trail camera must only cover your plot.
I ain't got a problem with that. Because it will be rule box. Okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'd like to just be noted that I have concerns over this.
Yeah.
The next one is a change of rule suggested by the site representatives. Some of whom are of the opinion that the current required cultivation period of 4 weeks during the growing season, April to September, for new and existing tenants is too long. So this is the notice that we give people to cultivate their allotments before they risk termination. They have requested that this period be reduced to 2 weeks because plots decline so quickly during the growing season. Committee will be minded that delays may sometimes be due to people taking their annual holiday at this time of the year. The period was reduced by half from 2 months to 4 weeks by the committee in May 2024.
I'll be honest with you, I would be really reluctant to do that. I think if people are taking their holidays,
Yes.
or we've got, family bereavements, whatever it is, then there's a period of grace where we're not hounding them because, you've got a couple of weeks on your allotment. I do appreciate the fact that, things can get overgrown really quickly, in which case after 4 weeks, or within that 4 week period, you've got to get your act together and sort it out. But I think 2 weeks is seriously short.
It is too short.
So I would propose against reducing.
Suppose it remains the same.
Yes.
Yeah. Members agree with that?
Thank
you.
Item 6, another change of rules suggested by the site representatives that relates to incinerator fires on allotment plots. Currently, incinerator bin fires must not be left unattended and should only be lit after 6 p.m. from March to October and 2:30 p.m. from November to February. In respect of Chiltern Lane East and West, wind direction must be towards the coast. The suggestion is that the permitted time at 6 p.m. and 2:30 be brought in line with when the clocks change for British summertime and the winter. The feeling is that this will make it easier to remember and to comply with the rules. It would, however, extend the allowed earlier lighting time from 4 months to 6 months in the year. In addition, in light of current housing development, committee may also in time be minded to consider the rule wording regarding wind direction towards the sea for the 2 Chiltern Lane sites. However, the technician managers have suggested that incinerator fires should be banned on all allotment sites at all times due to their environmental impact, health and safety risk and nuisance value for neighbours. Their justification is that material on or brought to an allotment site should be compostable, making burning of any material unnecessary.
Yeah, I agree.
So you're asked to decide whether to maintain the current fire lighting times, change the times to match the clock changes, or ban all incinerator fires on all sites.
Members? Catch shot.
As I've done gardens, maybe a yearly time in September is a good time for bonfire. It burns up with rubbish and put it back on the garden. It's potash. It's a part of having a garden.
The times change, catch the chunk.
Not for me, I live in the past.
No, but you live in the past anyway, so you can go back
It's
there.
a burning issue.
Catch.
I think I'm with the technicians, we should ban it. I mean, if you look at the weather conditions we've had from about May until, yesterday, we've had very little rain, and it's just that everything's just a tinderbox. So I think the less fire lighting, the better for us all.
I agree. Councillor Green?
I think incinerator fires are okay.
Sorry?
I think incinerator fires are okay. We've already banned fires, haven't we?
Yeah. Well, I propose that we ban it.
I'll second that.
Post what? Ban.
It. Those in favour? 1, 2, 3. Those against? 2, 3.
Abstaining, I'm on I'm sitting on the fence on this one. Don't want any fires, but I think, do you know what I mean? An incinerator fire.
And then I've got the casting vote, so It's banned.
It was passed anyway, I think, wasn't it? 3-3 to.
No, 3-3.
That was your original vote, that's the proposal.
My original vote, yeah. So there we are.
So it's all down to you, Chair.
Indeed, indeed.
Get the hate mail. All wrapped up that.
It stayed there, I
It's the bit where we nominate a councillor for the representative.
Yeah, it was you, Councillor Nixie, wasn't it? Down there?
Item 7, changes to the appeal procedure. The appeals procedure document is no longer current, and makes reference to the amenities committee. Attached to your document was a proposed update. It's more bringing it in line with other things that have been agreed. For example, referencing the asset management committee instead of amenities.
Got no problem with that. Members, anybody got a problem with it? Bringing it into line with what we've already got so far? Members agreed? Agreed. Okay, thank you.
And then there's number 8, there's an update from the allotment officer on National Allotments Society Training that she's undertaken.
Have you missed? What am I?
Oh no, we've just done that one.
Oh, we just. Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
So there's a few updates in there. One of the things that particularly stood out for the allotment officer that could be useful is that when notice of termination is given, is to ask people to give us an action plan. Actually, how are you going to bring your allotment back up to standard? What specifically are you going to do, and what are the timescales? And she feels that will really help focus people's minds on whether this is achievable, how they're going to achieve it. Yeah. So this is for noting.
Just for noting, members. Okay. Noted. Thank you. Okay, that's item 4 done. Thank you. Item 5, we now have to go through the process because of confidential items. So it's recommended that under the Public Bodies Admission to Meetings Act 1960, the public and accredited representatives and blah, 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 but our virtue of the paragraph specified against the item. So effectively, for those watching online, we're going into, you'll no longer be able to hear or see us because of the privacy that's required. So thank you for watching if you're still there, and we shall carry on for another 3 hours or so.